Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Shingeki no Bahamut Virgin Soul, which is on episode 14. Now, this episode right here, it reveals some information about Nina, not to mention certain actions taken from King Sharios himself, along with Nina's village and Kaiser, along with Kaiser. So if anything else, let's go. We have to it that after the events of what happened in last week's episode, the town is starting to rebuild itself with the people helping each other out. And King Sharios himself is giving some news lead about where Nina, along with Jean, is at right now. They don't know where the fugitives are, and they try to interrogate Kaiser in a certain way, but they are unable to get anything out of him, which King Sharios expected. And we have to it that the guy who was shaving King Sharios' mustache or whatever accidentally made a cut, and later on told the guy, "Looks like you weren't ready to do your job correctly." And he tells his right hand or captain of the freaking Oryx Knights or Black Knights, if anything, to go look for the fugitives. And he's gonna head to Eobos, which is an area that we are not too familiar with, and it plays a new opening song. I thought the new opening was pretty cool, not too bad. Although, I heard a lot of people might be complaining about it from what I heard from a friend, possibly. Though I don't really know if that is really the case, however. But if anything else, let's just continue. We have to it that Kaiser gets a visit from one of his one of his former subordinates, and he therefore tells him that you are now in charge of the Orleans Knights for now, and he mentioned this to Diaz, etc. And we have to it that he says that Kaiser tells Diaz that John is our salvation, it will rise again. And we have to it that Nina comes home with John and everyone, and it seems like to me they had a little small tour, and Nina is seen with a lot of her friends. They all hug her, and she ends up seeing her mother, along with some other people saying hi to her. And when Nina mentions the one person who knows how to get to the lands of the gods is possibly just her leader or something. Possibly maybe a shaman that I will refer to her as, because we get to know that she calls her grandma or granny, and she ends up explaining the story of how she brought the gods to the land, because apparently I think there was a Bahamut rage. I think there was a Bahamut rage in a certain area that happened 2,000 years ago to stop the Bahamut. And we have to it that she ends up taking the gods onto her back and flew them there. Apparently, she said. And this is where the Bahamut story of how dangerous the Bahamut is. And we have we see a scene between Jean and Nina talking to each other about love in a certain way, and of course, Nina has her ways of teasing Jean and being her being very dirty. And of course, Jean does say that she does possibly had someone that she loves, but apparently I'm afraid she was unable to do that. And we have to it that Nina decides to explain to Jean that she had her first love ever since she met King Sharios, but she never mentioned this 100% directly, maybe indirectly in a certain way that she did not mention his name, but not in another way possible. But if you guys get what I mean if you guys watch the episode. Sorry for being very, very confusing right there. Aside from that, we have to it that Nina explains that she always felt safe around him and that never thought that her heart would be beating really fast. But I guess in another way, she also explains the negative side as saying that he's also the man I also hate because of all the actions he's done. And Jean asked her this question, what do you feel about him now? She goes I don't know, but I don't hate him at all. So it looks like to me she still has her feelings for him because either her heart beats or something. But we have to it that everyone's having their dinner, and we see Jean couldn't sleep and talks to Nina's mother. As she's a human, she's not of dragon folk. But we also get to know that the village is actually very poor, to my surprise. I thought they were living out their own life, growing some plants and hunting down some creatures to feed the village. But I guess it's money that they are still trying to get on. And we have to it that Jean asked about Nina's father, and we have to it that Nina's father died, which is to my surprise. I didn't expect that. But we also get to know that 10 years ago, he protected the village from a certain fireball, which happened apparently in Shingeki no Bahamut Season 1, as Jean remembers. And this is where Jean was given a very disastrous memory, because we do know, if you guys watched the previous Shingeki no Bahamut Season 1, which I'm pretty sure everyone should have because this is a sequel, that she actually killed all the gods while being under a certain control of that form whatsoever. And we all know what happened to that. And we get to know that ever since her father died, whenever she gets near a man that looks like him, that's really handsome, she gets all this turn into a dragon thing and go on a little rampage to avoid painful memories. So that just shows why Nina transforms, possibly, etc. And we get to know that Jean was given gratitude from Nina's mother by saying, "Thank you so much for keeping an eye on Nina and being her friend." Although Jean says that, "I'm not that kind of person you think I am." And the way I could see her eyes and the way how she feels and the face expression she's showing right now, especially what she's really been through, and I'm pretty sure everyone will know that if you watched it from the very beginning of Shingeki no Bahamut Virgin Soul to the very end, especially in Season 1 of what she did. And it was pretty hard for her. Of course, she had it really, really tough right now, but she gets comforted by Nina's mother by saying, "You must have been through a lot," and she cries so badly into her arms right now. And we see to it that we get to see Kirby again with her dolls, ventriloquism, and Diaz ends up having to pick up freaking Visporat because of his freaking drunk tendencies and stupidity. And we have to it that it's cool to see Kirby again, but I hope she has some action scenes coming up soon. Aside from that, we have to it that Nina and John get ready to go to the land of the gods, and we have to it that Nina says, "How are you gonna take us there?" And she says, "I'm gonna carry you on my back," and she transforms into a giant dragon. I'm like, holy mother, this grandma's not someone you don't want to mess with, etc. Pretty funny. And the ending of Shingeki no Bahamut was pretty to my surprise, I didn't realize it at first, but it was actually some kind of Cinderella visual kind of thing. To my shock, I'm like, what the hell? Are you really serious about this, And of course, I think there were a couple princes here and there, and I think in my mind, how in the heck is this even related? But aside from the ending song with the credits, we get to see a post-credit scene with Sharios taking a look at a certain pillar and says, how long will it hold? And the informer says we exceeded the limits long ago, so there might be a chance it might collapse. So King Sharios can only look on in certain worry and possibly doubt right now of what the inevitable might come. Next episode is gonna be saying City of the Gods Part 1. So it looks like to me John and Nina are gonna go to the land of the gods. Although depending where this situation goes, it could either go uphill, it could go downhill or uphill on the situation. Although overall, I think the episode was pretty cool. We get to know a little bit more about Nina herself, about why she transformed into a dragon. This involves her father, etc., and what happened to her father, and what's happening with the other people in the stead. Although we don't see Favreau in this episode, which I really hope we do see him soon, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a big role to play. Aside from that, I thought the opening and ending was pretty iffy-biffy, especially the ending with the Cinderella thing. I'm like, how does this work? And then when it came to the opening, I thought it was pretty cool, not too bad. Although some may have complaints, but it is what it is. So overall, I thought the episode was okay. Looking forward to the next one, calling Part 1 City of the Gods. Hopefully John will reunite with Muguro-chan or the Golden Child, or L in other cases, to see what the possibility of turning things around might be like. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm Officer, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-doo!